Oh yes, ladies and gentlemen. Hello and welcome back to the broadcast or to the stream. Let me. What is happening with my FL Studio? Oh right. There we go. There we go. Oh, and here is the save. Right. So, well, the idea for today is to keep working on a certain, I don't know, UK garage thing that I had in mind. And so basically, UK garage, some organ based sounds, and hopefully try to make something interesting out of it. And I already kind of got a snippet, which I have in front of me over here. And yeah, I'm gonna just try to play around with the groove a little bit, the bass groove, and yeah, I mean, just basically see how the whole thing develops and stuff. And yeah, let me maybe play for you real quick what I've got so far. It's not long. It's not too long. Oh wait, I'm just gonna disable this freaking vocal thing. Yeah, so that's pretty much what I've got so far. And yeah, I'm thinking of kind of trying different root nodes, different scales pretty much, or well, either major, minor. I'm not gonna like go to any extremes in the scale department. I think the organ sound is good so far, but I'm also like thinking about maybe trying something more, whatever, a nicer at a later point. But so far, I think I've got the general base as like a foundation for what I want to do, pretty much. So yeah, let's keep experimenting, I guess. I'm just gonna enable myself some ear protection. And actually, last time I've discovered that there was an issue with. Oh man, there was an issue with like sidechain not working hard enough or something like this. But it looks good. I don't know. I mean, or maybe it was in terms of yeah, so I can basically make a harder threshold or bigger lower threshold on the PC audio whenever I talk, and it's kind of ducked down in a sense. Yeah. Oh shit, sorry about that. And also I've got the microphone a little bit closer to me, and hopefully should be okay. And I think I've also gained like the hardware gain a little bit on the backside of my Blue Yeti. Actually, I think it's something I should add to whatever my specs or whatever that I have Blue Yeti. I mean, I think it's like just a good universal microphone that you can get pretty cheap nowadays, secondhand. And that's what I'm trying to. I mean that's what I have had for years, and I never bothered to change it. I think it's all about not just the microphone itself, but also the processing that you put on top of it. So like a bit of compression perhaps, and I do have this like noise reduction thingy from iZotope on top of it, which is like real-time working and removing any background hisses, noises, and that sort of thing. So for example, you cannot hear like a fan from my open desktop PC going at all times or whatever other shit that are kind of like ambient noise within my whatever apartment and stuff. So anyways, I would try this, guys. I would try this time not to talk too much and just do what I kind of hope to do, basically. So yeah, let's keep working. And hopefully, you know, I will glance at the chat at time to time, you know, so that I don't miss any of your messages. Anyways. Let me see here. Hello Bartik, and welcome to the stream. I'm not sure if I have seen the nickname before, if you have been here before, but welcome back in that case. I think we have, I've made some, perhaps like some feedback for you once upon a time. I'm not sure, but your nickname is familiar actually, so welcome back, I guess. Yeah, actually, I think I'm gonna drag and drop this, and let me see here. So this is a thing that I've already used in the previous project, but I I think it's good a placeholder at least. And stretch a little bit. Oh yeah, that's right. Second time. Yeah, that's awesome. Good to have you back, sir. Sure. Let me see. Yeah, I've been let me see here, online for like 70 minutes actually. So yeah, it's not too long. So so yeah, it's actually kind of awesome to already have some viewers, considering it's been like, again, just 20 minutes. Let me see. Okay. Let's see. You got to... But now I have to pitch this thing down. Right, so -1 semitone. That should do it. And you got to take a hold of your life, make it right, babe. You have so much to show for yourself. Yeah, take control of your life, do it right, babe. I will be at your side. Yeah, that is a good placeholder, I think. And yeah, I mean, that gap is pretty annoying in the beginning, but I guess I want to keep it that way. And let's build it a little bit, and right, and the click. Yeah, it's unnecessary at the moment. You got to take a hold of your life, make it right, babe. You have some. You got to take a. Oh, and I need to. Hold. Okay, there we go. You got to take a hold of your life, make it right, babe. You got to take a hold of your life, make it right, babe. You have so much. Yeah, something is getting out of sync. Oh, it's these drums. I see. Okay, they're not stretched, apparently. 132. Now it should be good. You got to take a hold of your life, make it right, babe. You have so much to show for yourself. Yeah, take control of your life, do it right, babe. I will be at your side. You got to take a hold of your life, make it right, babe. You have so much to show for yourself. Yeah. And try this. You got to take a hold of your. Yes, I think I'm gonna save this one for now, and save as whatever the name is. That should be good, and let's go exploring. You got to take a hold of your life, make it right, babe. You have so much to show for yourself. Yeah, take control of your life, do it right, babe. Okay, okie dokie. All right. Sure. Let's do a pad, perhaps, and add some ambience underneath this thing. Let me see. 5. Let me see here. Okay, you sent some deep house, like a submission on Discord or something. I can have a look, for sure. That's also the point of the stream, so that we can sort of review people's music as well. So it's not a problem. Last stream. Okay, I see. Okay, yeah. Actually, now I remember. Actually, it was like like a white cover with some blue logo or thing on top of it on SoundCloud. Yeah, I remember actually. Yeah, it was like a good good housey attempt. I remember actually. Yeah, I remember now. Let's see, it's right to 40, 38. Oh, shit. Let me see here. Oh, that's awesome. That's awesome. Yeah, I mean, if you whenever you feel like whatever submitting anything, you can always write it down in the chat, and I'll make sure to have a look. Because sometimes when I'm like too focused, I kind of miss reading the chat, but because I have on the other screen, but I will hopefully read it in time. So yeah, whenever you're ready. But anyways, I'll just have to figure out the or maybe I already did. Let me see here. F sharp minor. I'm not sure if that's it. All right then. Awesome. Yeah. I just have to. Okay, let's do it like this. Okay then. F sharp major. Apparently. And maybe remove these drums for a second. Do it by hand. Yeah, I kind of agree. Yeah, it is more on the chill, vibey side, I guess. Yeah, I guess that was like me, the idea behind making like again like organ based UK garage. Even though I'm not like doing this frequently, at least I'm kind of whatever trying to experiment as much as I can.
Right. babe. You have so much to show for yourself. Yeah, take control of your life. Do it right, babe. I will be at your side for.
Yeah, that should do it for now. Okay, so what I'm thinking now, I want to take apart this drum loop and so I have parts separately, I think. So I need to find it first. Where is it? Let's see. And yeah, I think that is the one. And let's go to the actual pack over here and try to find these stamps, sort of thing. Yeah, for sure. I think I'm just gonna find the sort of stamps for this drum loop that I've got in my project, and as soon as I'm gonna handle this, I can have a look on your have a look at your submission on Discord for sure. I just wanna like make it down first. Let's see here. Probably the faster way is going to be if I just go to the websites. Let me see, let me try this. Probably gonna be faster. Downloads. There it is. And the thing was called, right, Corsica, apparently. Okay. That should be the next one. Hello, Yakucho. Hello and welcome to the stream. Yeah, I think I remember you as well, since like a number of streams ago. So welcome back, I guess. How are we doing? I'm just finding the stems for this drum loop that I've got in my project, and I kind of want to have the parts separated, so that's what I'm doing at the moment. And after that, when I'm done, I guess we can have a look at the Bartik's submission on Discord as well. Thanks so much for the follow, Yakucho. I appreciate it, man. Find the rest of it. Let me see. 4, 5. Or perhaps that was all of it. Let me see. 1. Yeah, that's probably all of it. Thankfully. All right then. That's awesome to hear. Well, thanks so much for the follow in that case. Yeah, so okay, so I think I've got the parts for you. I'm just gonna let me see, go over here and drag and drop. Hello, Espa Beats. Hello and welcome to the stream. How are you doing? So many people stopping by at the moment. Kind of crazy. Let me see. I'm just gonna drag and drop this appropriately. See, that should be the thing, right? It's okay, so this is the first one, the kick drum, right? I'm gonna drag and drop this, the snares, and let me see. So that's probably all the 3 elements, no more than that. Oh yeah, yeah, that was the full one. Right. Anyways, yeah, I actually, like, it was like or before I started the stream, like, I woke up and I had this like idea for organ-based UK garage thing, and then I set up my computer, I went on Splice, and I was like, I want to have some nice drum loop, and the first entry on the list was already good enough, already perfect. And I was like, holy shit, that almost never happens. The first submission to be just the right one, but that kind of happened. Sometimes you can look for the right sound for hours, and sometimes you just, as soon as you sit in front of your machine, it's like already there, which is crazy sometimes. So that was the original thing, and then yeah, there's separate stamps and stuff. Anyways, so I said I'm gonna have a look at the Bartik submission. So any of you guys who are also looking for one, you can probably do it on Discord as well, if you wish to do it. Let me see here. Let me have a look at the. It's actually not in it. Opened up yet. All right, then let me see. Let's go to the feedback section and see what you people sent. Right, so we got Bartik, we got Espa, and we got Yakucho. Awesome. So yeah, hopefully I will try to get to everyone as fast as I can, pretty much. All right, then. So let's go with the flow, I guess. And I'm just gonna adjust the volume a little bit. Let's hit play. So this is Blue Lights bar Bartik. Let's go. Oh wait, didn't we already hear this one? I'm not sure. Let's keep playing. Yeah, didn't you already send this one like a number of streams ago? I think I recognize this one. I mean, I don't know, maybe you did some changes. Let me see. I can give you the permit here in the chat because that's what I have to do. There you go. You can update your link here on the chat. Okay. Oh, so it was a wrong link. I see, yeah. All right then. Right, so ultra loud instead. That's what you have. And yeah, let's play this one.
I rep my. Yeah, off the shams, you can take my sit. Baseline hit, some more 8-line this. Off the shams, you can take my sit. Baseline hit, some more 8-line this. Never make music a fat panda. Step to me now, get the backhand. Black Panther, meet the black mamba. Gonna get choked out, that's standard. Black bellied up in the black cameras. Spitting on your face, whether that's banter. Dudes want a few cause you don't do news. Girl, come to the yard and they bring them on black camera. Back, yeah, I'm not gonna give them man a man cause I'm packing a spliff. So your boy could have batter a fish. Better go home and look after your kids. Jesus, you know I don't need this deep. This watching my flock when I speak this. Chuck it up, I've been giving it an Adidas. And sit. Baseline hit, some more 8-line this. Buy me a whip, then I take my pick, then I find me a chick I can make my future. Darkness in motion. It's a 16 bar from the dark of the ocean. Flow penetrates egos with the dark and the broken. Meanwhile, in the hell smoking, won't let me get my roach. With promoting the green and the purest herb. MPs get vexed and they swear they words. On daytime telly where they blur with her light work. I rip mine, got a sword for the dagger. Baseline hit some more. Baseline hit some more 8-line this. You're making it hard. I never break shit, told you you want it, come bring it, I'm waiting. Laugh at your feebleness, and they know who the leader is. Easy to crumble like me to miss milking myself. I don't need to pick one of them for amusement. Gang, everybody got friends, everybody got a yard, everybody from ends. Nobody's on 4, everybody's on 10s. Then again, you're making it up.
All right, awesome. So yeah, so once again, that was idea called Ultra Loud from Bartik here in the chat. And yeah, I mean, I really enjoyed the idea overall, especially how it kind of developed to this, like, as someone mentioned here, like neurofunk genre or type of beat, which I honestly never heard of before. And it's like it's actually the first time I hear of the term neurofunk. But that's, I guess, like something I've learned today. And yeah, I mean, so okay, so here's the thing. Like at the beginning, I wasn't sure if I wasn't exactly sure if you kind of had, I don't know, like exported all the necessary, all the right stems or parts of the track, because it kind of felt a little bit weird here in the beginning. Like something was, or maybe it was like, I don't know, like in some way, like, I don't know, like something was kind of like extracted from whatever other idea, like whatever, like a cappella or something, and then you kind of whatever, something weird like going on here that I kind of couldn't really like wrap around my head. So I wasn't sure if like stuff were filtered, and then you had like stuff going on here. Yeah, like something is kind of, I don't know, and then it's like going very quiet. It's like totally empty, which yeah, it feels like a stem that is like probably like, I don't know, like not everything was exported, or maybe you just haven't like layered basically any other parts on top of it or something. I don't know. but it's like, it feels like really quiet sometimes, and maybe you are in the process of like whatever, building it up or whatever, but I don't know. I would suggest to like try and make sure that you have like more perhaps like ambient elements or something that kind of really gives the impression that how should I say this? It's you know, everything's kind of in place, because it right now it kind of doesn't really feel like it. Let me see here.
Baseline hit some more 8-line this.
Yeah, I can really hear that something is playing in the background, but it's kind of being filtered out by some kind of algorithm or something. Were you trying to post a link, Bartik? Let me see. Was it like related to your submission or something? Let me just catch up with the chat a little bit. Let me see here. Hello, Primoria. Hello and welcome to the stream. You can submit anything you want, and you can join our Discord server and paste your submission on the Discord, and that way we're gonna, you know, check out your submission if you join the queue over there. And whatever you want, that doesn't really matter if it's like whatever, classical music, dance music, whatever it is. It's kind of for everybody, hopefully. So yeah.
Never make music a fat panda. Step to me now, get a backhand.
Let me see. So okay, it was some kind of bad word that you have. Okay. In the, yeah, I mean, I don't, yeah, okay, I mean, sure, but I would suggest to kind of like just fill up the gaps and try to add some whatever ambience, something that kind of makes, I don't know, it more filled up basically at the beginning, so that you don't have this like whatever, like it's just a stem playing and then it's like kind of quiet for you know, sometimes over here. But anyway, you can probably, you know, fix it and stuff. So Anyways, let's keep going.
Meet the black mamba, gonna get choked out, that's standard. Black belly up in the black canvas, spitting on your face, but I think about a fish. Burning go home on
And then, you know, develops really nicely. I wouldn't say I have anything technical to say.
your kids, Jesus.
Yeah, so I usually say this to people, and I guess like I repeat myself too much, but whenever I hear you know, that there's room for improvement when it comes to the kick drum, I usually try to you know, tell people just that you know, you can probably try to do some additional tweaks on the kick drum, or you know, change it altogether and shape it differently. So yeah, I would suggest to do just that, to maybe, I mean, try to maybe have a second look at the sidechain, and then, you know, maybe try a kick drum that has a little bit louder tail, in a sense, that the one that isn't longer than what you already have. Like, let's say if it's like a 16th note, or you know, something like this, and just have a louder tail, because that really helps to kind of give the kick drum a beefier impression or something. You can also try and do that by compressing the one that you already have. And so when you compress, you kind of squeeze a little bit, and then you make up the volume, make up gain pretty much, so that you kind of bring up the volume again. Or alternatively, there's this awesome tool, a free tool that is called STFU. By Zeek Audio, which actually there is a description for it in the freeware section on our Discord server, and you can also use this to shape how your kick drum kind of looks, and then, you know, make up the volume, and so that it's like a little bit more in your face kind of thing, which I would say would help the kick drum quite a lot if you make up that volume, you know, later on. You kind of leave the transient untouched, but you kind of or well, you probably should reduce it, because you kind of want to level things a little bit more evenly in the kick drum, and then kind of bring it up again. Yeah, so that probably should do it.
Take my pick, then I find me a chick I can make my future. Been promoting the green and the purest herb. It's all for the dagger and the best one. Young boy and about sometimes, yeah. You could take my sip.
Yeah, because I mean, it is a good kick drum. It's kind of like shaped a little bit like not too loud, in a sense. So without actually making it louder, just kind of like making sure that the peak volume doesn't go over whatever it is at right now, but just, you know, kind of like flooring it a little bit more, like limiting it in a sense, but, you know, not exactly. Let me see. But I actually like the bass line, and I mean, it feels like it's really nicely placed, and it also feels like it's ducking kind of nicely whenever the kick drum is being played. I feel like there is some little wideness to it, like to the actual bass line, which I would be kind of careful with widening the bass lines, because so here's like the mixing idea. When you flip stuff to mono, and you kind of hear like the volume is drastically reduced when you flip everything to mono, then you can kind of notice that there are starting to be some, you know, translation issues when you try to play it on your whatever, like a Bluetooth speaker, a laptop speaker, or a car stereo or something. And I would try to, you know, I mean, a little bit, but not too much. I mean, if you want to give wideness to the bass line, do it, but just, you know, very little, carefully. Because stuff like kick drums and bass lines, they usually should be, I think at least in terms of dance music of whatever kind, be in mono pretty much. I mean, mostly. And then you can sort of try to, so what I would suggest, like roll off, like, I mean, this is now very technical, but side information. So basically what you're gonna get on the side of your stereo information for your bassline could be like high passed with, let's say, 130 hertz, 150 hertz, so that you have everything that is kind of below 150 is kind of, mono, and, translates really well across, different devices or whatever, audio systems and stuff. Yeah, exactly. So that's actually like a very good mixing practice that you flip whatever you're doing when you're mixing stuff or gain staging to begin with. You are flipping everything to mono and making sure that everything is properly placed in the mono realm, and then you gradually bring back the stereo information, and that's how you make sure that every single audio system is kind of, more or less properly translating what you're doing, right? I mean, that was also the mistake that I did, some time ago, and it's a good thing to have like some kind of a Bluetooth speaker or whatever, laptop speaker or whatever, to kind of have a second check, pretty much.
You're making it hard. People don't need it, they know that they know who the leader is. Easy to crumble like pizza, bitch, milking myself. I don't need to pick one of them. So no plans with them see the kids. On my way, there's a movement, telling you pushing the city, just cruising. Now they wanna have friends, everybody got a yard, everybody from ends, nobody's on plan, you're making it hard.
Yeah, but other than that, I think that there isn't anything else I might add, actually. So again, like the kick drum situation, which, again, like maybe shaping a little bit differently with the tool that you have just downloaded, and make up the volume and have a second look at the side chain of it, so that it kind of really sits properly. So what I would think about is the idea of multi-band DACing or multi-band sidechaining, which is like, I mean, that I don't think there are any like free tools available for it, but so basically, sometimes when you sidechain stuff, you don't really have to like DAC the whole band, but instead you kind of DAC the just part of the band that is absolutely necessary, so that you don't really squeeze the other elements. But I mean, that is just very technical. So MB, I assume you mean something like FabFilter Pro multiband. I mean, in that case, yeah, that is kind of what I mean. That there's something that you could actually use in that purpose, or something similar of that sort. Yeah, exactly. That would be actually a perfect way to do it. So what you can do is like use a very fast, very short white noise click. So you basically open up whatever DAW you use, whether it's Ableton, it can be Operator, whether it's FL Studio, you can open up the 3x oscillator and just create a very, very short white noise click, as short as you can, and use that as a trigger for Pro MB, right? And then you can send it to Pro MB and be like, hey, I wanna DAC whatever lows, mids, highs, and kind of do that in that kind of fashion. Yeah, so let me see here. So that would be like a good idea for, not just for you, but for everyone here, and kind of like whatever, trying to figure out their sidechaining game a little bit. So that can be like Pro MB. I like to use for this very purpose. I like to use sometimes an equalizer from Tone Boosters, which is just called Equalizer V4, I think, and it has like a dynamic EQ capability in it, where you have so it kind of works as a regular equalizer, but then it has your regular attack release ratio to kind of make all the bands that you're making in there dynamic, pretty much. So dynamic EQing, but either with MB or the thing that I just said, Tone Boosters or whatever you have at hand, and whatever has the dynamic EQ capability. I wouldn't recommend Pro Q3 for that purpose, because I think it lacks ratio and attack release and that sort of thing, even though I know a lot of people use it. But I would stray away from the dynamic EQ in the Pro Q3, as a matter of fact. But yeah, I mean, whatever. Even maybe not so much. Maybe not so much Pro Q3 in this particular case, but generally for everything else, probably good enough. But anyway, yeah. So I think that was pretty much it when it as far as this submission was concerned. If you have any follow-up questions, you can let me know on the chat, Bartik. Other than that, thanks so much for your submission. Yeah, so let me get to the next one. Yeah, I guess I'm sometimes a little bit too technical, I feel like, and people can get bored sometimes when I'm like explaining stuff for too long and too much and whatever. I just have this like weird obsession of just whatever. Whenever I hear something, I just want to kind of let it out, and no matter how long it takes. And yeah, I guess it's kind of like a different perspective on doing feedback compared to other guys out there on Twitch or whatever, YouTube, etc. Anyways, right, so we have Espa right now. That's right. Google Drive. Awesome. Let's have a look. No problem. Let me see here. Just gonna see. Senna Lincoln plugins. Humble Bundle has a huge pack of plugins and samples. Humble Bundle, I think I've heard of it, although I don't remember what Humble Bundle is. Oh, isn't it like I used to get free games that Humble Bundle has released some time ago. Oh yeah, seriously, do they give away plugins and stuff? Humble Bundle, that's crazy. Can you I mean, if that's, I assume it's like actual legit stuff. So I mean, if you want to paste it here on the chat, Bartik, you can. It would be awesome if you could actually paste the. Oh, okay, so it's like $20. Yeah, for sure. I mean, I think that I'm actually gonna. I'm just gonna put it in here and yeah. Check it out later. That would be actually awesome. Anyways, all right then. So we got Dutch Drill Jumpy from let me see, from Espa Beats here in the chat. All right, let's do it. Let's see, I'm just gonna fix my sound card because it gets glitchy sometimes when I stream for too long or something. There we go. Oh, let's do it. Okay, there we go. Okay. Yeah, I mean, that was certainly an interesting drum / like melody groove, I would say. And yeah, I mean, I guess I'm not sure if like the Dutch drill is, even though I'm not an expert, if that's the proper whatever description for it, but I assume that's how the drum groove looks, sort of in the, again, like Dutch drill type of situation. I'm not sure, but probably. Yeah, I mean, so like 1 minute long, right? And I would say like probably like arrange it a little more and try to kind of like expand the whole idea like to at least I would say 2 minutes ish, 3 minutes, and then depending on how long the tracks in the genre actually are. So like looking at some kind of a reference and see like how long these are, and maybe try to experiment with basically adding a lot of variety and doing proper sections, so like an intro section, and then kind of like building up the tension towards something that could be like a drop situation, and then doing a breakdown, and etc etc, that your general suspects kind of thing. And yeah, so probably like looking at again Dutch drill type beats pretty much, and see what the other whatever favorite artists of yours or favorite tracks that you like to listen to in the genre do, or how they are structured, and maybe like as a kind of like an exercise, try to kind of mimic whatever they do, and whatever recreate some of your favorite parts and take the best bits, and to kind of ultimately make your own mixture kind of thing, I would say. So yeah, I mean, I don't know, like mixing wise, I'm not sure if like there is too much to say, like considering that you still have, I would say like for my taste or perspective, you still kind of need to again like build it up a little bit more, again like arrangement wise, and add some additional harmonic content, or basically like fill up the gaps here and there, and generally like I would say like expand the project probably a little bit, to kind of make it more, I don't know, appealing to the listener, I feel like. But yeah. Yeah, so yeah, I mean, maybe like I don't know, like again, it's like not like so important at this point, but I would say like the kick drum feels a little bit distorted, but that's also probably like intentional, and something to have like a little bit like distorted kick drum. Maybe that's the thing for Dutch drill once again. So maybe I wouldn't criticize on the kick drum situation too much. But it feels like a little bit like it's either squeezed in a like weird way by some kind of a compressor or limiter or something, or like it's like just it's something is maybe like a processing thing on top of it that makes it that way. But I guess if I were you, I would try to kind of, okay, it's a Jamaica kick. Okay, I mean that probably explains it. Why it's so like weirdly whatever, I don't know, like distorted or something. But maybe that's the way to do it in the Dutch drill. Oh, and it stopped playing. Let me see here. Yeah, so let me see here. Yeah, so I'm not sure if there's a bass line in there somewhere. But I would definitely try to maybe add some really nice kind of juicy bass line underneath, like that is playing in between the whenever the kick drum hits. Maybe like do some kind of like, again, like maybe like get the inspiration from other Dutch drill tracks and see how they are solving the bassline situation, and kind of try to mimic that or something. I don't know. Maybe that could be an idea. Yeah, and then there's this nice like pumpy atmospheric pad thing as well, which is a nice touch as well. And then there's like this da 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 melody playing at the beginning, at the end. I mean, of like every whatever ish number of bars, which is also a nice touch. So I mean, it's just probably to just expand the whole thing and keep it like a little bit, make it a little bit, bigger, wider, whatever, longer, especially. I feel like, but yeah, for sure. Anyways, yeah, I think that's pretty much it as far as my feedback goes. So if you have any follow-up questions, Espa Beats, you can always let me know here in the chat, and I will try to answer it. And in the meanwhile, I will go to the next submission and see what exactly I could show. So I think actually, so it's probably going to be the first time probably that I review some of your stuff, considering that you have actually been here before. And I remember, I think I've missed your feedback request because I had such a long queue back in the days on the previous streams that it's probably going to be the first time. So it's good that finally I have the opportunity to check some of your stuff out, pretty much. See here. Should be good. All right, let's do it. So Extraordinary Magic. Let's get by.
Move with me.
Wow, I mean, I don't know where to start, but I guess my first word would be, holy shit, what was that? Like, oh man, I guess I have to like take a second to kind of process what just happened and the variety of different kind of like whatever sources of inspiration and the different, I guess, mixtures of styles of music from all over the place kind of combined in this one very kind of like crazy, you know, piece of work that you know that you did, you know, generally in this idea. And man, I've heard so many different things. So starting in the beginning was like, or maybe not the beginning, but somewhere in there was like a medieval music, and then there was like this. I think that you guys call it neurofunk, basically, which I might assume is like this drum wobbly bassy thing that you have like in the kind of like drop parts, pretty much. And then there are whatever like in the breakdown like whatever like lullaby, whatever like chill, whatever breakdown ish or chill-ish kind of like breakdown section, pretty much. Yeah, I mean, it's like, I don't know, like even in which category, in which kind of box to kind of categorize, put this thing into. But it's like again, like a crazy combination of different sorts of things. And yeah, I mean, it's like, I know, I guess a way to go if like from like looking from I don't know, like a identity sound standpoint, like where you sort of like where can we sort of like categorize your sound, and kind of like we could say like, you know, combination of different sorts of things. And you know, again, like combination of medieval, like probably like as you have said, like here, like background in like classical music composition. So maybe that helps quite a lot to like, you know, write these like medieval pieces here and there during the course of your track. And like I was like really had the, again, like medieval slash so there's this computer game that I enjoy a lot, which is called the Witcher series from CD Projekt Red, and I really got that, just that kind of medieval, little bit like, I don't know, I don't want to say like the wrong word, but basically like a medieval style game music a little bit as well. So yeah, I guess that was my whatever like personal take on what I guess thought. But then if we perhaps look a little bit more technical at things, I guess there probably might be some little touch-ups here and there that we could have a look at and see. Just, you know, like skipping and, you know, without like whatever playing the thing, you know, whole again. But so I mean, here already you have like basically like whatever established like just a nice like a build up towards this like basically drop section, and you know, doing it in medieval way is like the whatever craziest thing I've ever seen or heard people do, like when it comes to dance music. But I guess it works. And I can like really imagine, you know, this kind of thing work on even on like a festival or dance floor or whatever. Someone suggested, I think, that you should come with this thing to whatever their country and make a performance, and I guess that would probably work with this kind of music. So I guess it's a possibility. Who knows? You never know. And then you think it's like medieval music. You say, oh, it's nice, and then all of a sudden it's just like. It's like this thing like, and like, you know, like some of you would never expect. And the aim and break parts and like, yeah, actually, so drum and bass parts that I've heard there as well, like crazy. I mean, it's kind of is like a drum and bass groove, but then, you know, with a combination of like, I would say like dubstep basses and stuff. Yeah, so okay, I'm gonna probably say like the kick drum situation, right? I feel like, again, I'm probably saying this to too many people. I think I probably have to make like a tutorial about it or something, but I feel like you could have done a little bit better job in terms of side chaining all of your elements to the kick drum, and so that you make sure that the kick drum sits really well in the mix. And then once you have kind of tried and do as good as job as possible in terms of side chaining, then you can have perhaps a second look at your kick drum. And exactly the same thing that I've suggested to Bartik, I think, to either try and find a different kick drum or try and process your kick drum or shape it differently so that you have the same length of the kick drum without making it longer and without going over the peak volume that it's at right now. So let's say whatever minus something ish dB in your mix bus. Try to process the using the STFU plugin from Zeek Audio, which is the LFO shaping tool to kind of shape a little bit differently so that it's not more like a triangle, but maybe more like a, I don't know, belly triangle or something like this, pretty much. So that you have basically the louder tail of your kick drum and that it's more audible once you have made the improvements to the sidechain as well, which is going to be like additional elevation for your idea. I feel like when that kick drum hits really hard in combination with everything else that you did, I feel like, because I can hear the click of the kick drum, but I cannot really hear the body of the kick drum, which kind of doesn't really help. But improving that situation could really turn a thing for the better, I feel like. Yeah, we can. I can give you the permit, Bartik, on the chat after the feedback. If you want to post anything, I can do that afterwards. Yeah, so pretty much the kick drum situation, I would say. Yeah. Other than that, I think that everything is really, really on point, and like mixing wise and volume wise and everything. I wouldn't say anything extra when it comes to whatever, if the drums or whatever percussive elements are at the proper level or not. I feel like it's all okay. Like maybe also as like a thing to mention when it comes to mixing. So something that I mentioned a little bit to, I think it was Bartik or I think it was someone else, when it comes to checking your mix downs in mono versus stereo. And I think like there are, for example, in terms of the drums, right, there's like a little bit of wideness, a little bit of stereo wideness to the drums. And there might be a risk or a possibility when you flip all of it to mono that you kind of lose the little bit of gain on those drums, because they are, like, I would guess, like, as far as I hear, like a little bit wide. So when you flip everything to mono and they like go down in volume, that's probably the that probably means that you have maybe like a little bit too much of stereo information on the drums. So what I usually do is I flip everything to mono and make sure that the drums sit as good as they can, or a good volume-wise, gain staging-wise in terms of mono, and then bring back the stereo information again, so that whenever I flip back and forth between these different modes, I'm not losing the gain on either, whether it's drums or whether it's any other element that is basically have some kind of wideness to it, right? So that would not just apply to your percussive elements, but also to all of your other elements, so that everything translates whenever you play it, whatever, no matter where you go, with Bluetooth speaker, core audio, whatever, home theater system, whatever it is. Yeah, I mean that is also like again like a little bit of a question of like what you want to be like a foreground background element, but it's I think or well I mean more in terms of translation of the mix, so that you kind of have everything translating as good as possible across different sound sources or playback sources, pretty much, whether it's headphones or whether it's whatever phone speaker, laptop speaker, and that sort of thing. But then, yeah, I mean, yeah, sometimes when you want to have, again, like you said here, like percussive elements more in the background, then you maybe don't want to like whatever have too much mono information if you want to just whatever give some wideness to your whatever mix in general and stuff. Okay, you mix on your monitors, mobile, pop earbuds, and Bluetooth speaker. Yeah, so I mean, probably just flipping everything all together in your DAW to mono, and just listening back on your earbuds or Bluetooth speaker and all that sort of thing, and just kind of making sure that everything is kind of sort of more or less present across all these different speakers, right, or whatever, headphones. And you can make sure that that's kind of the case by flipping things to mono and then kind of gradually bringing back the stereo information. And that's how you can also like a little bit, again, like enhance the presence of your elements in your mixes across all these different things. So I also have like a Bluetooth speaker or a phone speaker, laptop speaker, and I usually kind of check I mean, if I really want to like make sure the translation is good, how my idea presents itself across these different sources. But anyway, I'm just gonna fast forward and see if there's anything else, and yeah.
DJ, there we break it down.
Yeah. Again, the wideness aspect and the we have talked a little bit about the kick drum, but you probably already know what I said there about it, so I'm not gonna probably repeat it. But yeah, there is like a little bit of wideness here and there for some elements. So stereo information, and that again can be like whatever, like rebalancing, not just in terms of the actual gain, but also in the actual mid-side information, as it is called in like proper, I guess, professional terms. So how much of mid you have in your mix versus how much of the sides you have in your mix, and that can help to kind of again help out in all these, again, like we said, speaker, earbuds situation kind of thing. And also using something like, so I use a tool that is called Tonal Balance Control from iZotope. And that is also like a really good tool to check out the overall balance of your mixdown. Basically, if there is like too much bass in it, or if there's like whatever, too little of some kind of frequencies overall, especially when you're mixing on, like earbuds or whatever it is. Alternatively, something similar like I think someone mentioned here Span from Voxengo, I think it is, which is also like also a good way to checking how frequencies are distributed kind of throughout the course of your whole track and stuff. So that's also a good tool to use sometimes. So basically analyzing with analyzers, and maybe even like checking with references, and that sort of thing. Yeah. So I think that's pretty much it. That's pretty much it. I think I'm just gonna as far as the feedback is concerned, I think that would be pretty much it. So thanks so much for submission. And if you have any follow-up questions, you can let me know here in the chat. And I think I'm just gonna catch up with the chat before I go to the next submissions. Let me see here. I'm just gonna catch up a little bit. Okay, I see. So the drums are supporting supportive elements in the background of everything else. Okay, I mean that's fair. That's understandable. Like a ambient kind of thing. So yeah, it's probably I get it completely. Let me see. Right. Yeah, I mean, not caring about the stuff on the paper. I mean, yeah, sure. I mean, sometimes the ultimate, most important thing when making sure that the quality is good as it can be is your ears. Ultimately, no matter what you use, no matter what piece of gear, no matter what, if you are in an acoustically treated or untreated room, ultimately you have to, well, I mean, to some degree know your gear so that you, whatever, can compensate for the lack of whatever frequencies in your gear, like my headphones, for example, that I have in my head. And then ultimately using your ear, most importantly, and the ability to listen and whatever, make corrections by yourself, pretty much. Let me see here. Yeah, for sure. If it's clean and sound good on any hardware, yeah, that's. I would agree that that's one of the most important factors for, again, translation of your mix sounds, for sure. Let me see here. In Japan, we have a completely different way of mixing music. Oh, really? That's interesting. I mean, also like, I can understand it's also like genre dependent and that sort of thing. Like whether it's classical music, I can imagine it's different. Whether it's your type of music that you are trying to do, it's also like different and stuff. So, I mean, mixing is also like an art within itself. That there is no right or wrong. That there can only be suggestions or tips as how you can approach what you're doing, but there is no must in anything whatsoever. So everything is kind of voluntarily in a sense. The paper says how something technically is, but in reality is mostly not hearable. I don't know. I guess I'm not sure exactly what you mean by that, but sometimes some stuff are, again, if you cannot hear something, then in your whatever, and something that you're trying to fix or whatever, someone is telling you that something is not right in your mix and you cannot hear it, that can be like either a gear that, is lacking the ability to kind of let you know what is wrong with whatever your mix down or whatever, or alternatively, you just haven't trained your ears enough to kind of notice whatever, some kind of whatever resonant frequency or whatever it is, like some kind of whatever too distorted element or something like this. So it really depends. It's like a human factor and a little bit of a gear factor as well, but you don't really have to use expensive gear for sure to still have good results. Definitely. In Japan the track sounds good and clean, then it doesn't matter how the track is, it just needs to sound good. I agree. I guess it's like, pretty much this kind of ideology translates pretty much everywhere. I feel like it's maybe not just Japan, but rest of the world. Like, everyone wants good and clean sound for sure. And whatever the stylistical creative part of it's like a different story. Like, I'm just like more talking about the mix downs and stuff. And usually my approach is to first make sure that everything translates properly across different whatever speakers, rooms, environments. But then again, it just one way of doing it there is no one perfect pill for everything, for sure. I mean, I don't know how Germans do it, but I'm sure they have some kind of a system or something. And yeah, I mean, everyone has their structure, whether it's whatever certain individuals or countries or whatever. Everyone has a different way of whatever doing their stuff, for sure. Like different people, different techniques, or different mixing engineers, different approaches, or something like this. Anyways, I just wanted to check a little bit. Okay, so I see. So there, Bartik is, as far as I see, still on the chat. So we have Bartik submission, but we also have Espa Beats before him. But I think Espa Beats is already gone, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, so I think we're gonna skip Espa Beats submission, and we're gonna go straight to straight to Bartik's over here, unless, I don't know, there's anyone else that hasn't had the chance to submit anything. And what I usually try to do is, like, if we have already reviewed someone, like here, for example, Bartik was already the first one. And if, I don't know, there's anyone else, then I can probably go to yours. Okay, is it 12:35 a.m.? It's actually the same for me. It's also 12:35 a.m. So we are probably in the same time zone, surprisingly enough. And I don't know what time it is in Japan, but I imagine it's like completely the other way around. It's like whatever, like middle of the day or something like this. Hello, Helix Python. Hello, and welcome back, I think, to the stream. I actually recognize the nickname. Welcome back, man. How are you doing? I'm not Danish, I'm Swedish, actually. Oh, well, I mean, I kind of spent most of my life here in Sweden, but I'm originally Polish, as a matter of fact. So I was kind of born in Poland and then spent more of my lifetime in Sweden, actually. So yeah. Svenska. Yes, my friend, that's correct. Oh, did you? Went to Poland for holiday? Yeah, I mean, that's I mean, now probably it's not the best time to do it, but yeah, I mean, usually it's like a great place with great whatever places, people, landscapes and stuff. So I can imagine it's like a good holiday destination for some. Apart from like all the other kind of like how should I say this, like exotic, destinations outside of Europe and stuff. Energylandia, is that like a festival of some sort, or like a venue, maybe like a musical venue? Interesting. Anyway, let me see here. Okay, doing good. Usually you listen when you are at work. Are you at work, Helix Python? Really? And you are like watching, secretly watching our stream while, you should do the job that you're actually whatever supposed to do. Okay, that's interesting. Okay, a big theme park. Okay. Okay, you work in a data center. Yeah, that's interesting. Like servers and stuff, and like managing whatever data, and a lot of data, and that kind of thing. I might guess, or something. Waiting on a fire to put out. Has there been a fire in your workplace? You mean? Europe's tallest coaster. Oh, really? I had no idea that there are things like that in Poland nowadays. Roller coasters and theme parks. And I think the last place I went to was I think it's called Gröna Lund in Stockholm, which is also like a theme park. But it was like many years ago, like probably like 2013, 2014. And there were also like roller coasters and, you know, that sort of jazz. Let me see here. I'm just reading your messages. Let me see here. Are you waiting for something to break? Like, okay. I'm not sure how to translate that, but I would hope it's not an anger issue or something. Lol. 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 Anyways, yeah, so I think that as far as we are exactly, so I think let me see, Yakucho is also gone, so we can probably have a look at your submission, Bartik, and after that, I think I can get back to my usual streaming duties or whatever activities I have. But we can also have a conversation in the meantime, if I manage to do that. Let me see here. A Bridge to Romance, right? I'm just gonna catch up real quick on the chat. Yeah, I mean, I can imagine that there are some probably like I don't know, weird situations in IT realm when you kind of have done your part and then you kind of have to sit at your desk for I don't know, a certain period of time and twist your numbs or whatever. I don't know, unless you have a system to kind of be effective at all times. But I can imagine like managing a data center can be like quite a boring thing sometimes or something. So I don't know, I would guess probably. Okay, hard just dive and such maintenance and triage is necessary. Yeah. I mean, I can imagine. I can probably understand that. It's I mean, especially, you know, spinning hard drives, you know, like the old tech, not the SSDs and that sort of shit. I mean, I guess like people are now gradually switching to again like more, you know, again like SSDs and that sort of thing. But I can understand that or imagine that there are still spinning HDDs and that sort of thing, which is like still, you know, most affordable storage tech, you know, probably. I don't know, I would guess. Da-da-da. All right then. Anyways, let's hit play on this thing and see what you have prepared. Holy shit. Oh my god. Oh my god. Yeah. You didn't hear anything. You didn't hear anything. Yeah, that's. Oh man. Okay, let me start. Let me start over. Okay, here's the thing. Let me start again. Like, let me try. Yes. So, what a nice idea. First and foremost. And yeah. So I was again, as I've said here, Bartik on the chat. I think it was like a chill idea, and like kind of like low profile, pretty much. And I really enjoyed. I really enjoyed it, and especially considering your first, like very first submission that you sent to me, which was like a deep house ish type of track. And I was expecting, like when it was playing the intro, like this like very nature-esque thingy. I was expecting it to go kind of housey, in the housey direction, but then I was positively surprised with the basically the drum and bass direction, because I kind of got the drum and bass impression because of the drum groove generally. So it was like a really nice, pleasant surprise. Like I would even like go as far as saying like more of like a liquid drum and bass, which is actually one of my favorite variants of drum and bass. So that is like a really nice way to do ambient / chill type of drum and bass for sure. And even the kick drum, I felt like in there was like very soft, very kind of like low profile in there, and probably like just doing some additional like side chaining corrections too, like how all the other stuff are being side chained to that kick drum would probably like really just give that additional presence to an already good kick drum, I feel like. And yeah, so like generally, yeah, like, maybe like let's play it from the start and see like more if there's anything else that I kind of notice here and there. I'm just gonna catch up with the chat a little bit. Let me see. Oh yeah, you really try to getting this to liquid mid mild roller. Yeah, I really dig that those sort of vibes for sure. And it's like really on the in a nice soft, again, chill spot for the DNB. And I usually don't like these like kind of like aggressive wobbly types of EDM, not EDM, but drum and bass. And I usually am more towards like again like liquid DNB, like ambient atmospheric vibes that are more, I guess, like whatever, dreamy in a sense, rather than kind of like aggressive festival-esque, raving-esque, etc. So definitely for sure a plus from me in the whatever taste department, but anyway. Okay, so I feel like, I mean, obviously nature sounds like really nice and stuff, but I would say like trying at the beginning even have like some kind of like underlying, sustained like a pad thing, or like a whatever atmospheric thing, like that kind of goes as a sustained note below all of this. I feel like could also like add additional depth to these like nature sounds and stuff. And maybe experiment with some kind of free tools that can do granular synthesis. And so basically, anything that has any kind of free instrument that has word granular in it and is capable of doing granular, you could try and, do some kind of really low profile, really kind of low volume pad in there, and try to kind of like layer up with the rest of the nature sounds. I feel like could actually be like a nice let me see here. Suggestions for like granular instruments. So I know that in FL Studio there is, for example, I don't know which DAW you use, but I know in FL Studio there is something that is called Fruity Granulizer. And if there's any free tool for, I would actually have to check it out after we do the feedback here for you. I would probably need to Google that because I'm not sure if there's any tool that is capable of doing granular, actually, unless you maybe have some like whatever paid VST instrument that I know that's just that, but I guess you don't. So yeah. If you have FL, you can probably open up the Fruity Granulizer, and what you do is you open up the granulizer and you throw in some kind of sample, whatever it is, and then it's just gonna, the idea of granular is that it's gonna chop it up in very, very small bits and kind of make a sustained thing out of it, and just, you know, playing with ADSR, so attack, decay, sustain, release, like in a sampler thing, and see what you can do with whatever, you know, some kind of pad sound, whatever. Yeah, because it's all nice and everything, but I still miss like the underlying sort of like sustain thing, you know, in the background, which could like really fill up the weird gaps sometimes, or whatever, silences. Yeah, so I really enjoy the how it kind of developed to this part, and so probably only the kick drum situation. I don't know if it was. I think it was probably during your previous submission. I think it was. Yeah, it was with you that we have talked about the idea of sidechaining with Pro MB. I think it was, or it was maybe with someone else. But you could definitely try and apply. Or using MB in here as well. So maybe I can show you a little bit, considering that I don't think there's anyone after you for a submission or for the feedback. I can maybe like demonstrate a little bit, which is like also something you can also, you know, have a look at the previous VODs on the stream. But I guess I don't have any problem in showing you afterwards as well. Yeah, but because it's all nice and everything, but it kind of just I'm missing that body from that kick drum pretty much, and it's kind of all I would need, or I would expect to like have just that good kick drum presence, apart from otherwise pristine vibe in this section. And you can like very sort of clearly notice whenever a kick is losing its properties as soon as you try and enable, like if you would just play the pure kick by itself, right? And then as soon as you start to enable other elements within your idea, within your project, as soon as you gradually notice that the properties of the kick drum are disappearing, that usually means that something is masking, some frequencies from some other element are masking the properties of your kick drum, pretty much. And the way to avoid that, or the way to fix that, is to just really, you know, sidechaining the proper way. So I mean, that is, I guess, the idea behind all of this. Yeah, and even like, so something that we've talked about, I think it was also your first submission, and we have talked a little bit about it with Yakucho as well, who was here on the chat with this like crazy medieval DNB-ish thingy that we have also, that we also gave feedback on. The idea of trying to also flip your elements to mono, so basically mixing in mono versus in stereo, and kind of trying to flip or switch back and forth and see kind of how certain elements translate and if they are not kind of losing too much volume while translating. Because I hear the drums, for example, right? Like a clap or like a, what is it, like a snap thing in there. And a little bit like the percussive, like hats elements, like they have like a little bit wideness to them. And sometimes when I'm doing this sort of like widening thing, I'm afraid that whenever I flip to mono, that these elements I'm gonna lose their volume pretty much, and that's usually the case. Like it can be like 2 dB quieter or something, and that can create a problem when you put it on your car audio, whatever speaker system or a Bluetooth speaker, and smartphone, whatever laptop speaker, that sort of thing. It can be a possibility that you're gonna lose a little bit of volume because they are singular speakers, right? They are not stereo speakers, but they are singular speakers usually. So that could be the a thing to think about when mixing sometimes. So yeah, actually I can show you what, because you're using FL Studio. There is one very nice thing that I have made in FL Studio, like a like a button that allows you actually to flip from mono to stereo and back very quickly without like too much hassle actually. So I can probably like upload that to Discord somewhere instead of like going to the master and like using the knob at all times, which is always down there and on every mix bus. I made a button instead, so that's also very useful to like when working with whatever, mixing in mono and stuff. Okay, so I'm not sure if this is like a breakdown section. Okay, this is a breakdown section. And this is more like a outro-ish thing that kind of goes into, the breakdown here. Because I'm listening when the drums are playing versus when they are not playing. And usually when there's like a breakdown, I try to stray away from using drums at all, or alternatively filter them out so that you kind of get the impression that this is like a more like a breathing room section, like a breakdown section, rather than still kind of keeping the groove alive, because that kind of can whatever, especially in the breakdown, keep the kind of unnecessary tension which you usually have in the whatever drops or whatever, that sort of thing. Let me see, but then I'm actually let me see. So I'm not sure, is there actually any bass in there, like a sub bass or something? I'm not sure if I'm hearing anything. Actually, since I noticed. Okay, there's a sub. Okay, yeah. In that case, it's like kind of like very, very, very like low down there, in a sense that it's like either very much filtered or it's just like a very, very subtle sine wave of sorts. Like maybe it's just like very silently the sine wave playing like different notes or something. Okay, I see. Yeah, I mean, I would even go as far as saying that, either you can try to harmonize that sub bass a bit, depending on whatever. Let's say if you are using like some kind of a synthesizer and that is playing a sine wave, you could find a way to kind of harmonize a little bit without actually using any distortion. Alternatively, well, you could use distortion, but I would say like kind of, I mean, either give it like a little bit more harmonic content so you can kind of hear it's there. Alternatively, just bring up the sine wave altogether and gain a little bit in volume so that it's just a bit more present, because I don't know, I feel like it's like, I don't know, maybe that's my headphones, but I feel like it's maybe a little bit too quiet. But then it will also depend how you're gonna whatever sidechain your kick drum as well, and how you, in relation to that, going to kind of adjust the level of the sine wave or whatever sub bass and stuff. So let me see. I just have to make probably some notes. Let me see here. Can probably delete this one. Let me see. Let me maybe do some notes. Oh shit. Let me see. So that I remember what I was supposed to. Okay, show all the notes. There we go. So that I can. So we have right. So using let's see, Pro MB for the kick drum, right? And then we have talked a little about. So I've noticed the exactly. So the mono stereo mix slash check, and then I can show you the button that I've actually made for that very purpose in the FL Studio. And let me see. So the third thing was the bass line, right? Which was the actually I have to see if I can make this thing. There we go. Okay, I see. That's how we do it. That should be good. Right. So like let me see, harmonizing the sine wave in some way, either distortion, or there's other way, which would be you can use like depending if it's like an oscillator thing, then you could say you could use two things. You can either use something that is called FM synthesis on this kind of like how do I say this, sine wave pretty much, and that way you can kind of like give it a little bit more extra harmonic content. I can probably show you in a second. Alternatively, there is also a way which is called additive synthesis, and that way, so this idea is about additive is about having a sine wave and then adding kind of additional sine waves kind of on top of it, but there are, how should I say this? Like, I will probably show you. So that would be probably for the best, because me explaining this is, maybe a little bit too complicated and convoluted. So maybe let's get straight to it, actually. So I'm probably going to save this for a second, and I'm going to open a empty template for the kind of like, I don't know, demonstration purposes and stuff. Yeah, maybe I'm gonna, let me see here. So first thing, like the Pro MB, right? So pretty much, so actually it's already kind of embedded in the okay, I see. I'm just gonna catch up with the chat real quick so that I'm sure that maybe I'm not starting too soon. So let me see here. Okay, you're just writing you're writing down the notes. Okay, I see. Yeah, I mean, that is probably a good thing to do. And I actually like have this note app opened at all times for like, usually when I was supposed to like have this open at all times when I give feedback to people and, you know, kind of like take notes whenever, whatever. I find something that I don't want to forget about when, you know, giving feedback and stuff. But yeah, then I kind of reminded myself that I actually have this thing, and then yeah. So anyways, but it's gonna be like probably open at all times, so I can, you know, still open up some stuff in the meantime. So anyways, you know what? Yeah, let's bring up some bass sample, blah, 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 whatever. Something that might be for the demonstration purposes. So let me see here, bass loops. Something that is kind of busy enough. Sure, this is okay. Okay, so let me see, 125 BPM, sure. And then fits 25. So let's say this is gonna be our bass line, and then I usually have a kick drum over here. Let me see where it is. Whatever, something like this. Right. And I'm gonna shorten this a little bit. So whatever, right? So I mean, this thing already is kind of, you know, sidechain within itself, but I think it's gonna work good regardless. So what I would do is like, so here is the bass line playing, and like here's the kick drum situation. And so how would I kind of approach this? So you said you have Pro MB, right? So let's find the where is it? I probably have to search for it. Pro MB, there it is. This guy. And right, so now here's an interesting thing as well. So this thing on top of here is the this guy over here is a sidechain click. So I think I've probably mentioned it some time ago now during the feedback session or whatever, when we have talked about some of your submissions, is that I use this white noise snippet as a trigger for you know, those different kind of sidechain tools like Pro MB or whatever, sidechain compressors, you know, that sort of thing. So this is how this click would sound if I would route it or make it audible without any other things playing. So this is like this very short white noise trigger that I made with this thing over here in FL Studio, which is called the 3X oscillator. So this is basically a random shape, which means, in other words, it's like a white noise pretty much, and that's how it sounds. Because if I would switch it to a sine wave, it would be like a high-pitched sine wave or whatever, square and saw wave and that sort of thing. But it's set to a white noise. And now to shape it like so that it's like very, 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 very fast, very, very short as possible, as humanly possible in this thing. I think everything is set all the way down, and hold this on just 1%, so that whenever it's turned all the way down, nothing is playing. It's completely silent. But whenever the hold is on the 1%, it's gonna be like a very, very quick trigger. Okay, so that was it. And this thing is set on its own kind of ghost mix bus, so that I can route this thing while it's inaudible. So now route it to at least like audibly, not route it anywhere. But it's like it just works as a sidechain trigger, pretty much. So that would mean that I am basically, like you can see here at the bottom, I'm routing this thing to many different mix buses in my projects. So let's say, I don't know, something like a vocal or something like a whatever, some kind of like different synthesizer sounds or whatever instrument sounds. So here are the bass lines, and sometimes even to the drum bus, which would be the very like a drum bus that kind of every single drum element goes to before hitting the actual whatever pre-masters, masters, and sort of like the very last elements in the mixing chain, sort of thing. Let me see here. Okay, we got a similar template. That's awesome. Yeah, I was thinking like even like putting up this template for the people, but then I was kind of too lazy to kind of like clean up from all the whatever third-party plugins and whatever renaming things. But maybe someday, who knows? Anyways, so we have this thing that is now silent, right? And we have this thing, which is this. So now let's maybe like make it like a little bit louder, obnoxiously louder, or well, a little bit. Something like this. Now, what I would do, so Pro MB, I would go here to the whatever it is, like cogwheel or whatever it's called in English. Press on the detail settings as the hint panel is mentioning, and open this panel app and go to the wrapper settings, I think it's called, and so then there is another tab called processing and sidechain, and that's where I have my SC click, which is already routed to this mix bus, right? So I pick this, and now here comes like a little bit more complicated part when using MB specifically for sidechain purposes. So there's a little bit of latency generally on this plugin, right? Whenever the first time you open it, like by default 20 milliseconds, which is kind of like not ideal if you want to like use this for sidechaining on every single mix bus, right? So what I do to compensate for the latency, and because I personally do not like whatever latency inducing plugins, what you can do here is disable the look ahead down at the bottom of the Pro MB to off, and set it to off. And as soon as you set it to off, you're gonna notice that, hey, the latency is gone, which is good for kind of like live or a real-time sidechaining, again, without inducing too much latency or causing too much latency when mixing. So now when we are sure that it's zero latency, now I can start doing some bands, and we can start with doing the first band. Now what we're gonna look at is, first things first, I want set attack to all the way down, and then release can be 20% for now. That's okay. And yeah, pretty much attack all the way down, and sometimes I play around with the knee value, or when I used to use this, I used to play with the knee value as well, but we can leave it untouched for now. And now here's an interesting button over here on the right, which is called Expert. So when you open this one up, you're gonna have some additional features, as a matter of fact. So now here is the sidechain section. So what you need to set in here is from internal sidechain, gonna set it to external sidechain, and external ext is gonna mean that's gonna take outside sources as a sidechain input and bring it to the MB, right? So now, because it's set to external, it's gonna react to our white noise click that we have, that I've shown you previously. So now it's not doing anything because the volume that you see here around the threshold knob is the actual volume of the click of its kind of input that is going into the MP, right? So as soon as I draw down the threshold, it's going to start to DAC the volume according to the rhythm that the sidechain click is playing with, right? So basically every quarter notes. So basically like bum 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 bum, right? And now the very good part about MB is that I can it's not like a regular compressor which would DAC the whole thing like this, but it's a multiband. So I can now drag this thing how long or how far or close I want, basically. And to make it like maybe a little more aggressive, let's say now that I want to fiddle around with this ratio thing. So ratio is basically how heavily it is reducing the volume, I think. So let's say I want to have whatever 5:1 ratio. And then I want to increase the range of this gain reduction. So let's say 12 decibels. And so this is with it and without it. Or, well, but maybe a little bit more aggressively to just, prove the point. So there's like, it's still like the sample itself is a little bit sidechain, but you can already hear, actually, you can already hear how the bottom end of the kick drum is coming through. It's like a very subtle thing. And let's say, and that's what I usually do. I put another band in here, and I also need to set it to, let's say, external, because I also want this thing to take this white noise click and let me see here, and attack all the way down, always attack all the way down so that it reacts immediately and release whatever. I can play around with this as well. And ratio, sure, why not? And the threshold. So now we disable this thing altogether. Let's see, there is some around here. There should be, yes, there is bypass. So that's how I would do it. Like it's I don't know, like a long convoluted explanation, but and that that's gonna be like far more noticeable when doing this thing on like whatever synth sounds, pad sounds, vocals, anything you want, really. So yes, so this is like basically like when people think of doing regular sidechain compression with external sound input, but kind of taken to a little bit further, a little bit to the next level, because you do not deal with just regular sidechain compression that is like ducking your volume, the whole frequency spectrum, at the same time, but you instead split the bands and work with bands instead. So we can think of this like basically having a bunch of different compressors that are working on basically their own respective bands, and kind of like and you can have as many as you want. I mean, you can go overboard with this thing and get really crazy. So So yeah, so that's kind of, and I use like for this very purpose I do not use MB, but there is this other tool that I like to use, which is called the Tone Boosters Equalizer. So basically like a regular equalizer, but has the same kind of the same capability like this. And I can also then again adjust the have like the regular compressor parameters, right? So again, attack, release, ratio, and all that jazz. So yeah, probably a little like complicated and stuff, but hopefully it kind of whatever makes sense. And you're probably gonna like notice the difference a lot when you are starting to when you're gonna start to apply this technique on like most of your mix buses when doing stuff, whatever it is. Yeah. So right, so that was actually yeah. So that was exactly the thing that we have covered. So the mono stereo mix checks. So let me see here. So there is this little nice button that I made that I made with this plugin in the FL Studio, which is called the control surface. And control surface is kind of like using Patcher in FL Studio. So Patcher is like this another crazy mixing whatever sandbox environment that you can use to like again like open up a whole new whatever dimension of what it really means to use FL Studio. And in Patcher there is this section that is called exactly just that, control surface. And what control surface is, or it is available also separately from the Patcher, right? And what it basically is an ability to create buttons, knobs, sliders, to kind of like alter parameters of different whatever plugins, pretty much. So if I would like to have a separate knob or slider for something, whatever it is, then let me see. I'm just gonna catch up with the chat a little bit. Do I give lessons? I do actually have lessons on Fiverr. So there is like, if you go to my I think my profile page on Twitch, there is this like Fiverr section. And in fact, if you type !Fiverr, you're gonna get information on the chat as well, and you're gonna get a link to my FL Studio music lessons. So let me see here. Yeah, I understand. It's quite late, so yeah, but there it is. I mean, yeah. For sure, if that's something you wanna whatever consider for the future, then. But yeah, I mean that was like whatever. It was no problem to whatever show you some stuff. So I'm glad to whatever give some help to the people, and that's also the point of the broadcast. So yeah, it's definitely a lot to explore for sure when it comes to not just creating ideas, but also like mixing them and whatever, mastering. And it's like crazy how much you need to know sometimes to really have control over so many aspects of your music, right? Yeah, but it was my pleasure. Right. Yeah, it's also nice to whatever have some people on this stream to have a conversation with. It's not often that happens, because it's like still whatever the stream is like in still like whatever development stage, and I guess I'm just still gathering like more and more people to kind of chime in and whatever enjoy the content, pretty much. Yeah, I mean, when I started out making music, it was more like I mean, I really had a lot of problems with just getting things to sound right. So basically, I was like having a lot of problems with understanding how certain tools or how certain things work in terms of mixing. So compressors, equalizers, whatever, reverbs, distortions, all that sort of thing. And I was just like, how should I say this? Like I was just banging with my head on my desk pretty much. And I was like sometimes, sitting for hours in front of my DAW and trying to mix something, and I just couldn't because I didn't understand how that shit works until I just realized, okay, I'm gonna like close down the DAW for a second. I'm just gonna go online and read about this shit and find out what does what, what is all of this and how everything works. And then I kind of gradually starting to connect the dots. Okay, this is how we approach this. This is how you do this and whatever. That's how you should high pass your sound. That's how you should whatever do this and this in your reverbs and that sort of shit. So it can get really deep down the rabbit hole for sure, and it can get pretty crazy sometimes. And I can understand why some people are losing their patience and they just want to focus on the creative aspect and just play keyboard and whatever, get creative and whatever, emotional, and express their emotions with music rather than get into the technicalities of shit. And so reverb, yeah, so compression, there is so actually on the Discord, so there is like on our Discord server, there's this educational section, right? I think it's called like Edu Music or something like this, or Music Edu. And I'm like gradually trying to add some information about different aspects of music production, right? And I'm gonna gradually add some more information about the reverb, about some other stuff. But there's already a lot of good information about compression down there, which you can actually go and read about on our Discord server. And I try to put it in like easiest language possible so that people can kind of understand what it is. And I'm gonna do the same for again the reverb and whatever equalizer, what it is, what it does, and that sort of thing. But the reverb in like very short term is like basically room ambience pretty much. So if you're like going to a church, or if you're going to a cave and you clap your hands or you start screaming, then you get this like kind of like echo of sorts, or like a room reverberation, as it's also called. So like a kind of like a sustained echo situation, which is what reverb is. And the way it works is as soon as you scream or clap your hands, the sound waves that you generate are going to kind of bounce off walls in the room that you are in. So like let's say a church, and then the sound from your clap is going to bounce around and create this like atmospheric effect, which is reverb in kind of like whatever simplest terms probably. Let me see here. I'm just gonna catch up a little bit here. So I think the best bet would be if you would go to our freeware section on Discord. There's this freeware section where there are actually a lot of different plugins that I kind of have written down for people to kind of as a recommendation to check them out. And I think there are a number of different nice free reverbs that you can go and check out. But I think in FL Studio you could probably try something as Fruity Reverb 1, Fruity Reverb 2. You can also try Fruity Convolver, I think. So there are actually 3 different reverbs in FL Studio that you can use. And yeah, so in the freeware section there is So there's one that is called X-Hip Reverb from Axidos, which is the company behind it. And then there is now the free legacy old plugins that a company called Audio Damage has released. And yeah, I think could be called Rashcheck. That is part of their whatever legacy bundle that you can actually download and test out or whatever. Go to their website and check that out also. I think these effects from this company are quite awesome, considering that they are now free. And there's also nowadays actually something good to mention as well, that I think like a couple of days ago, this company called Tone Boosters has also released their old plugins, legacy effects for free. So I think they also have like at least one good reverb in there that you can try out and see how it sounds. So it's basically like giving again like echo effect to your sounds. So when you put in a vocal, it kind of sounds like the vocalist sings in a church cave, whatever it is, and you kind of give a little bit of that sense of space to something like a vocal or something like drums, like a drummer would play in a whatever, some weird big room or something, and have the sound bouncing off of the walls and shit. So that's kind of the idea of the reverb, I guess. Let me see. Oh, no problem at all. You can. I mean, you don't have to ask me to. If you if you can go. If you have to go, then you have to go. It's understandable. Thanks for listening or whatever, stopping by and whatever, having a conversation and whatever, getting the part of the feedback. And I'm looking forward to have you on the next one. So thanks so much, and have a great night, for sure. Thanks so much, and hopefully see you next time. Cheers, and bye. Da-da-da. All right then. Oh man, that was a really nice conversation. Holy shit. Who would have known? Yeah. Okay, I'm gonna probably get back to this to this idea of mine. But I think I'm gonna have to put on some food and probably eat something in the meantime. Let me see. We've been live for 2 hours 34 minutes, and I feel like it's been 4 or 5 considering how long I've been streaming last time. But let me just put on this. I have to disable this thing. There we go. I still feel like it's probably a little bit too long, or I mean not too long, but too quick, or too the tempo is too high, pretty much. But 130 is still, I don't know, like it's made with exactly 100 BPM in mind. Maybe if I slow it down to 128, let's see how it sounds. But then what happens is when I change the BPM, my splice thingy is starting back up again for some reason. Okay, you know what, guys? What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna play this thing in a loop, and I'm gonna go like for a couple of minutes, and I'm gonna whatever, take a toilet break and whatever, put some food in the oven and that sort of thing, and I will get back to you as soon as I can. So be right back. I'll be back, as Arnold Schwarzenegger said once upon a time in a Terminator movie. Let me get the timer for 5 minutes, and be right back.
You got to take a hold of your life, make it right, babe. You have so much to show for yourself. Yeah, take control of your life, do it right, babe. I will be at your side for. You got to take a hold of your life, make it right, babe. You have so much to show for yourself. Yeah, take control of your life, do it right, babe. I will be at your side for. You got to take a hold of your life, make it right, babe. You have so much to show for yourself. Yeah, take control of your life, do it right, babe. I will be at your side for. You got to take a hold of your life, make it right, babe. You have so much to show for yourself. Yeah, take control of your life, do it right, babe. I will be at your side for. You
All right. I'm just gonna get back. And all right, let me see here. I have to just think for a second. Right. I have to change the side chaining on this fan because I don't like it.
You got to take a hold of your life, make it right, babe. You have so much to show for yourself. Yeah, take control of your life, do it right, babe. I will be at your side, boy. You got to take a hold of your life, make it right, babe. You have so much to show for yourself. Yeah, take control of your life, do it right, babe. I will be at your side, boy.
Right. I'm just gonna have a quick look at something. Oh, I see. Okay. Right. I don't actually. I was actually curious. So there was a plugin that a viewer of mine mentioned called Rashjack, which I kind of the name sounds familiar, but I cannot find. Maybe I already have it installed, but I think it was a reverb, wasn't it? But I'm not sure if. Exactly, the Rashjack reverb. There's it. There it is. I mean, it's free, but I don't know how. Yeah, I mean, I don't know. Like the interface kind of already froze me off a little bit, but it's free. Hey, you know. I don't know. Let me try this thing on a vocal. I'm not sure that's how that's gonna.
You got to take a hold of your
Rashjack reverb.
You got to take a hold of your life, make it right, babe. You have so much to show for yourself, yeah.
I don't know if it's probably. I don't know.
You got to take a hold of your life, make it right, babe. You have so much to show for yourself.
It's probably more like sounds more like a delay, I would say.
You got to take a hold of your life, make it right, babe. You got to take a hold of your life, make it right, babe. You have so much to show for yourself.
Oh shit! And then there's like this nice distortion thing.
You got to take a hold of your life, make it right.
Like make it a little bit more again, like a little bit more like vintage distorted.
You got to take a hold of your life, make it right.
But I wouldn't say, I mean, yeah, okay, yeah, so now I remember what was the case. So I think, okay, that's probably why. So in the on the Discord server, there is a thing that is called Raschek Reverb, but it is in the category of delays, and I've specifically put it in the category of delays because I believe it is more of a delay effect rather than an actual reverb, and that kind of makes me question why Audio Damage actually calls it the reverb, which, I mean, you can kind of consider a reverb being a delay being a, you know, if configured properly, be some kind of a reverb as well, or like an echo effect. But yeah, I was more inclined to put it in the delay category. And yeah, so that was it. And let me get back to, so there was the Raschek, and then there was like from this new bundle, which is the Tone Boosters, there is this thing, reverb. I actually haven't tested this. Let's try and see what it is.
You got to take a hold of your life, make it right, babe. You have so much to. You got to take a hold of your life, make it right, babe. You have so much to show. You got to take a hold of your life, make it.
Huh? Is it actually the kind of reverb that you can put in mono separately without actually widening, or how should I say this, without actually narrowing the vocal?
You got to take.
Let me try something. I'm gonna, so utility stereo. I'm gonna widen the shit out of this vocal.
You got to take a hold of your life, make it.
Just, you know, just for lols, or just for the sake of experimentation. And then I'm gonna put a reverb on this shit.
You got to take a hold of your life, make it right, babe. You have so.
Holy shit.
You got to take a hold of your life, make it right.
Holy shit, that is actually probably the only reverb that has a separated control for the oh shit, where is it? There it is. The only reverb that I've encountered, there's actually free, and that is the ability to separately adjust the width of the reverb itself without actually altering the stereo image of the mix bus as a whole, which is actually pretty crazy. Holy shit. And the reverb sounds really proper.
You got to take a hold of your life, make it right, babe. You have so much to show for yourself. Yeah, take control of your life too.
And then you have like a regular, so you have shape, which I'm not sure exactly. Okay, so it's kind of like a room geometry, size of the room, diffusion. Holy shit! I mean, that thing, like, if people discover this thing is gonna be used a lot. And it's like, I mean, sure, people have like stock reverbs in their DAWs or whatever, but this is like this width knob is gonna be a game changer, because it's, you know, it kind of works separately to exclusively to the reverb, and then you have the pre-delay, high pass, low pass, you know, regular suspects, and actually oftentimes, like, once upon a time, I used to stray away using the actual EQ or high pass, low pass in the kind of reverb itself. But then I have realized that the actual high passes and low passes that, you know, these kind of plugins usually have are, how should I say this? That, you know, they have a specific filters that are tailored for the reverbs usually.
You got to take a hold of your life, make it right, babe. You have.
Okay, so yeah, right. Okay, so and this is also a little bit like confusing because okay, so high pass means low cut and low pass means high cut, which also is like a great distinction to have, considering considering that these terms can be like people can kind of easily mix them up sometimes, so that's also good to know. So so low pass, okay, so that goes to 20k, and then we have high pass that goes as low as 10, so pretty much
You got to take a hold of your life, make it right, babe. You have.
okay. But the low pass goes then to 1000 hertz, which is, I guess, okay.
You got to take a hold of your life, make it right, babe. You have so much to show for yourself. Yeah, take control of your life, do it right, babe. I will be. You got to take a hold of your life, make it right, babe. You have so much to show for yourself. Yeah,
it's really nice. I think it really has some. And it's set to the high quality. Let's hear how it sounds without it.
You got to take a hold of your life, make it right, babe. You have so much to show for yourself. Yeah, take control of your life, do it right, babe. I will be. You got to take a hold of your life, make it.
It's maybe like a little more, maybe a bit lusher, but maybe that's just a placebo, and I cannot like say for sure if that's actually the case, but I mean, like even without this HQ setting, like if you want to save CPU,
you got to take.
And damp frequency is like the additional control for dampening, or how should I say this? So basically squeezing the tail of the decay pretty much. So if the decay is 1 second, so the dampening is going to be like an additional fine tune for the decay, which I would probably say that it kind of usually is. So fine tune for the kind of how the reverb decays. So 1 second decay, but then the kind of the shape of how it decays is going to be more dictated by this guy, damp. But yeah, man, yeah, I mean, hell, that is an awesome thing. And should I, or would I use this more over the Fruit Reverb? Probably, because it has this freaking width thing, which, I mean, that is already what sets it apart, what makes it ahead of like pretty much every other, because then you don't really have to use the reverb as a sand, and then you can just adjust the width of the reverb separately for every single part. ER level, I don't remember what that is. I'm actually not sure. I guess I'm not that of a reverb expert, but okay, early reflections. Okay, I see. So there's like an additional. Yeah, I'm probably not gonna go into that too much because I'm not quite educated on what this thing exactly is, but yeah. All right then, awesome.
You got to take a hold of your life, make it right, babe. You have so much to show for yourself. Yeah, take on. You got to take a hold of your life, make it right, babe. You have so much to show.
Yeah, so I was supposed to upload this mono button, but I think I'm gonna do that maybe off stream. So that this mono stereo button that I guess something that I said I'm gonna upload for the viewer. So maybe after the stream, it's kind of a useful. But what it does basically is like a substitute for this thing over here. So which is like this knob for stereo mono at the over here at the bottom So basically all the way to the right is mono, and all the way to the right is actually extenuating or gaining the stereo side information. So what this knob does is, or button does, is basically when it's on, oh shit, I think I've messed it up. Link, surface, move, accept. There it is. Yeah, so whenever it's on, it's mono, and whenever it's off, it's all the way or at the middle, which middle means it's not neither reduced to mono, and it's also neither it is whatever gained on the sides, because when you go left you gain, when you go right you how should I say this, you merge, exactly, you merge to mono. But then you probably shouldn't touch this if you want this button to be working. So it's a good habit to just click the button. Click the damn button. Yeah, instead of like, yeah, touching the whatever knobs. And I mean, even I can probably show you for those who are like maybe impatient. So the way it works is just you have the control surface. So this is the plugin, and you just go edit, and you just add a button, and you add some kind of a button, and then what you do is you have something like this, and when it's clicked, and then you kind of go, I think it should work that you just right click on the thing that you want to automate, and then you go link to controller, and then you have already, because the control surface is on the same bus as the kind of like how should I say this, because the control surface is on the master like this right here, and the same buttons that I want to automate are on the master bus, it kind of automatically recognizes when I want to link these that, okay, there's an alternative, there's called surface, and within the surface there are two buttons right now. So there's a mono button that I've called right here, and then there's a button number 19 for some reason that I made over here, and I can choose which one of these is supposed to trigger an action, and what that action is going to be defined by this mapping formula. And I'm not gonna go like mathematically too much in detail what it does, because I honestly don't exactly know how it's calculating, but I found out that having this formula is gonna do the trick for mono stereo switching, and I think it was called last half. So basically that is intended, so this is linear last half, and I think what that's gonna do is that's gonna basically flip any of your knobs to the last half, which in terms of in FL Studio language is gonna be the second half from the left of your knob. So basically all the way to the right is last half, and all the way to the left is first half in this case. So anyways, I'm gonna remove this, and I'm gonna put it back, and yeah, and that is what happens when you click accept, and yeah, you get this. And I can probably like upload the FST for his thing. Yeah. All right then, let's okay, so my food is in the oven right now, so I guess I'm waiting for it to be ready at one point.
You got to take a hold of
So I have to make sure it's not gonna burn itself. It's not gonna get burned or whatever. But I can, yeah, 3 hours into the stream. Let me switch to the DAW real quick, and let me just have a quick check at something in the or you know what, maybe I'm gonna wrap it up instead and just get some break, because I actually feel like I could use some break, honestly, and I don't know if I actually want to work on this idea anything more than what is absolutely necessary. So you know what, maybe I'm gonna call it a day for now, and maybe I'm gonna launch the stream and like whatever. I mean, I don't want to like give any promises, but maybe like somewhere later during the day, and see if I can keep working on this UK garage thingy, because yeah, I think I'm gonna take a break from producing for now, or whatever, creating stuff, as I actually feel like it. Yeah, so I think I'm gonna say goodbye to all of you right now, and I'm gonna see if I'm gonna get back to it sometime later, either during the day or in the worst case scenario, it's gonna be like Saturday, Sunday-ish, somewhere around there. Since we have Thursday, or it's already a Friday, right? So Friday 2 a.m. where I am. Anyways, thank you so much for tuning in to the stream, and I'm looking forward to have some of you, or whatever. I'm looking forward to have any of you next time, and yeah, once again, thanks so much, and goodbye for now. Cheers.